Oh, hello there, sir.
Oh, hello. Guess who's back?
Me.
When I say Jiao, you say Fi. Jiao.
Me.
Jiao.
Me.
Yeah!
You know cancer, you know what it is, you know how it affects lives.
And that really hit home, like, this is the time, this is how it's affecting us. And that's when we started running Race for Life.
And I look good in pink.
You don't look bad.
Don't look bad, do I? Jeez.
This year, Hollyoaks has teamed up with Race for Life.
And with Hollyoaks having such a good reputation for presenting real-life stories on screen, we couldn't think of a better partnership.
I have done Race for Life so many times myself, and it is always such a good, fun event.
It's very important. I'm dying to see Kieran run.
I'm absolutely buzzing that we've teamed up with Race for Life, because the one thing I don't do is race.
And I think because we cover lots of cancer storylines here and we have a really wide-ranging audience, it's just a very cool partnership and something to get really pumped for.
Yeah, and in actual fact, you don't have to be a great runner to take part in Race for Life. So even if I was to walk around,
That's good
I would
for you,
still
then.
be doing my bits.
Hey, we've been doing it a long time now, haven't we?
I think Hollyoaks have covered most issue things that there is possible, but the most predominant one, which we will always come back to, like all sorts will, would be cancer.
We have quite a few cancer storylines, and that's because there are many different types of cancer and there are many different personal individual stories. And also we have families in the show. So we don't always just show the individual dealing with cancer, we show how that can affect all the different members of the family and the friends and the community.
Jade, we're gonna get through this together.
I'd say as a soap, telling this kind of story really shines because you can get into that kind of gritty detail and make it really realistic.
The reason why I do what I do is because I want to tell important stories and I want to present characters that people can relate to and for people to see parts of their self in. I'm not brave. I'm scared. Jack.
Obviously it's such a huge issue and you want to do it justice and you are aware of how many people might be affected by the work that you're doing. It's such an emotional issue that it's not much of a stretch as an actor to imagine it, and it's not much of a stretch to feel those feelings towards something like cancer.
Sorry. I promised myself I was going to be stronger than this. I'm going to be sick, aren't I? I can't bear being sick.
You know cancer, you know what it is, you know how it affects lives. So yeah, it's great to have the research, but for something like this, you don't have to look very far to find it's in front of your face.
Yeah.
The moment it was a very real thing for me was when it was my best friend's mum had been diagnosed with it, and she is second mum to me, known her my whole life, and that really hit home, like, this is the time, this is how it's affecting us. And that's when we started running Race for Life. And it was such a good, fun event. Everybody got involved with it, all the family. And I think every time I run Race for Life, it will be for that.
Stop! Prince, I am so sorry. You must be terrified. I remember we had that scene in the hospital just before Prince goes into the ward to get his operation. I mentioned something to Malik that I'd been through personally. When I was about 14, I had to have an operation on my breast because I found a lump. So I thought it'd be really helpful for Malik to know that, you know, how I felt and how it affected my family, because my mum was quite scared and I was scared. Well, I was scared to tell someone at first, but, you know, if something doesn't feel right, it's just so important to go and get help and make sure, you know, you can get it sorted. So yeah, it was really weird because I could relate to that in a way.
No matter what happens, I will always love you. You're my halo. My mother had skin cancer a few years ago, and the worst part of it was when she was getting diagnosed. I mean, she's come through it now, thank God. Was the phone call where she was telling me, you know, and when she just said, you've got it. We couldn't even finish the sentence before, you know, we were just crying our eyes out on the phone. And it's little bits like that you sort of remember when you're doing something like this.
I've been quite lucky to not have many, like, very close experiences of cancer in my life. I lost my grandfather to cancer, but that was when I was quite young. I was only about 5 or 6. So really, all I remember from that was seeing him in pain and knowing that he was upset, and then him not being there anymore. So doing this story kind of was almost a journey of discovery for me, like kind of realizing what that must have been like, and then from that talking to my parents about that period, while at the same time beginning to portray those kind of things on screen and talking to other people, seeing how this kind of then filled in a section of my life that I didn't really remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm all right. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Alfie, you can do better than that, like this. Go on, Alfie. Go on, Alfie.
When I was younger, I didn't really understand it, and it's hard being on the other side of it, where you're watching someone you care about go through something and not being able to help them or being able
Feeling
to...
powerless.
Yeah, but you can't truly understand unless you've gone through it. Yeah. And that's why when playing Jade, I was on the side that I had watched people go through. That, on a personal level, showed me a lot, because I could see the internal battles and the frustrations that you have that you can't necessarily communicate with someone who's not going through it, which is why it was so crucial that Jade had Alfie. She didn't even have to say that much, but it was like Alfie just knew.
Superheroes don't all wear a cape or a costume, but they are all around us. And mine sat right beside me. Everything I've done, I couldn't have done it without you, Alfie, and well, I wouldn't have wanted to.
So this is the first year that absolutely anyone can join, whatever gender, whatever ability.
I'm quite excited for Race for Life because men are getting involved, so it's
such a fun day. Everyone dresses up in pink and just like has a really good time.
You can't really describe the feeling of being at it, but it's powerful.
It's all about awareness, so even though I might be huffing and puffing and swearing my way around, it's all for the greater good.
Kieran Richardson in pink, it's a good sight, so get down, join in.
Who would you run for?
I'd run for my granddad.
I think it would be more about just trying to get as much money as possible, so it'd be tapping up lots of people, calling in a lot of favours, getting their dough off of them.
I would run it for my nana because I lost her.
I'd do the Race for Life for my granddad because he passed away of cancer, and it'd just be lovely to celebrate his life and making him proud.
I would run for anyone who's been through it. For anyone, people that I know, people that I don't know, and I don't want to leave anyone out.
You might struggle to fit that on the little sign.
On the side, well, I have one on the back, one on my arm, one on my leg. So
just like trailing from you like a little train.
Yeah.
And it's true that you can run from anyone, because even in the TV ad, Cleo is running for Jade.
Oh, how sweet is that?
It's amazing, isn't it?
I'm going to pay good money just to go around with him.
Are we ready? Come on!
Yep, and even the lads can join in this year too, because cancer affects everyone.